Hey, what's going on YouTube? It is GeneralTarheel, your coach of the Charmanders, bringing you the APA Season 4 Week 7 battle versus Coach Panther 2 and the Carolina Cleffas. Now, coming into Week 7, if you didn't know, we did pick up another win last week versus Coach DeathlyiAm and the Seattle Sprinklers. Make sure to check that out if you haven't yet. It's a nice 2-0 win with Ligatung going in once again. We just played pretty well there. We had a very good prep, and I kind of read most of his moves, I would want to say, in the battle. So it was very helpful there, and now we're on a win streak of 4 wins, 4-2 after starting off with 2 losses in the season. So hopefully we can continue it, but I knew going into this, this was going to be one of, if not the hardest games for me this season. I don't face Gypsy King, I do face Joey, and then I'll also face Gator at one point. But Panther, if you do not know, a good friend of mine, also a fellow commissioner, he records all my battles for me. If anybody knows how I play in the entire community, it is Panther. Panther can easily know what I'm going to do, and he can capitalize on it pretty well if he makes the correct play. So it's pretty challenging for me to do well against him. I also know how he plays at the same time, but like he's more aggressive. So it's a little bit dangerous. Like last season, the APA actually like tossed me. He broke my neck and everything. But I got him in P4G Next Gen. But fortunately, Panther's birthday was recently, and he went on vacation for it, or at least like, that's what I'm thinking he went on vacation for, or it's just a coincidence. But he could not play me because he was going on vacation. I was like, that's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, I have a better chance now. So he had his AC Tone play, and I know Tone. He was in my league for PBL. Cool dude. I know he's been helping Panther a decent amount so far this season. So I was looking forward to playing him because I feel like I have a better chance now. But at the same time, still kind of intimidating with the team, even though I knew at matchup I had a good Pokemon for it. So at matchup, I felt like Calm Mind Slowpoke just absolutely destroyed him. It's 1,000,000% like true. The only way you can get around that is an physical offensive Larvesta, of course, and a clear smog fungus that he would just have to sack. So Calm Mind Slowpoke with Eviolite Mixed Bulk, really, with Slack Off, Psychic, and Scald. So I think it was Psychic, not Psyshock. Yeah, Psychic. It had just enough Spadef to live a +1 Thunderbolt into a +2 Thunderbolt, Slack Off, and then continue setting up versus Chinchou. I knew going into this, Panther really prefers a bulky Chinchou pivot and stuff like that, so that's what I was expecting going into this. Even though it's Tone that built and played this team, I was still expecting kind of a bulky pivot. Also on the team, I had 2 Choice Scarfers, because it's what I love to do. I got Pawniard and Urchin. I have Scarf Pawniard mainly because it just helps me versus Abra. If Abra wasn't Focus Sash, which 1,000,000% should have been in this matchup, because it picks up a kill. Like, it's just that simple. If it's not Sash, or I can get rid of the Sash, then Pawniard just comes in, clicks Pursuit, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's just dead. So I can deal with that accordingly. And then also just Scarf Knockoff is pretty helpful versus his entire team. So apart from that, Archin was also Choice Scarf. Once again, just a really good pivot, and pretty good Revenge Killer versus his team, nothing too special. Pretty straightforward, actually. It was also just a pretty nice Revenger along with Pawniard for his potential Tyrant. Since Kurt, if you did remember, we already faced Tyrant, but you traded Tyrant over to the Carolina Cleffas. So Archin also helps me deal with Starly, which was pretty scary at matchup because Starly is just like Staraptor, and I want to be able to revenge that decently. So that's also why I Choice Scarf Archin. Next up, I have Rowlet. Rowlet does so much versus his team; it's ridiculous, but I wanted to bring a pretty solid set. Basically, he has no switch-ins to it. His best Revenger is a bulky Chinchou, or a speedy, just enough speed on Chinchou and have ice coverage for it. So I'm running Rowlet with some Spadef and Yachi Berry, the rest offensive investment. I had Leaf Blade, Brave Bird, Roost, and I believe Defog. I believe that's all I carried on the team. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. So Rowlet was just gonna be a very nice like offensive wall breaker that could hopefully catch the Chinchou off guard, and I just don't have to deal with that anymore. It was a very solid Pokemon for this game. I was hoping it was gonna put in a good amount of work. Next up was my Skorupi. The Skorupi set was actually pretty fire. I was hoping it was gonna do a decent amount of work. Skorupi was it had the sniper ability. It was dual dance with swords dance agility, with poison jab and iron tail, and its item was the scope lenses. Because basically I was the best switch into his fungus, but he still gets a free sport off versus my team. So I knew that I wanted to have the safety goggles. But then I saw I was like, Skorupi gets free setup because of this. So I wanted to capitalize on that. So I brought Iron Tail because I was more worried about Tyron. I really should have brought Aqua Tail because I knew Sandshrew was more of a first sure bring. And I was just kind of scared of it, so I really wish I brought Aqua Tail this time because Aqua Tail would have killed Sandshrew after Stealth Rocks unless he was like max bulk. So very unfortunate. Well, +2 Aqua Tail, so unfortunate there. But lastly was my Cubone. I could have brought like a tongue, but at the same time I felt like this Cubone set would have been helpful. I had a Focus Sash counter set on Cubone to help me with the bulk up Makuhita because I knew that was going to be a problem for my team. And sure enough, in the genning process, counter wasn't working correctly with any ability of Cubone because it was just a Gen 1 only tutor move and stuff like that. So when Kelly was telling me that, I'm like, just don't worry about it. It's like, I'm so tired of these Gen 1 moves not cooperating. It's pretty annoying because they can't learn it by level up because they have to be level 5 and it's just annoying. But really sucks because that would have been really helpful on Cubone to have that counter, and it does kind of take a play into the match. You'll see, but kind of unfortunate there. But I was pretty happy with the team. As you can see, the 60 brought was Larvesta, Fungus, Chinchou, Abra, Makuhita, Sandshrew. The only thing I was expecting was kind of Tyron over Larvesta, but Larvesta makes a lot of sense. I kind of looked over it in prep, which is pretty unfortunate. So I knew it was going to be kind of a challenge dealing with that. I was like, he might just honestly want to lead with that. So I knew I was just going to lead with my Rowlet. If he's not the Eviolite bulky variant, then Brave Bird will kill him turn 1. And other than that, I still have a good matchup versus the rest of his team, so I felt like it was the best lead overall. Deals with his rocks and Sandshrew and stuff like that. So, and he starts to lead with Hugo, which is indeed his Larvesta. So right here, once again, I'm going for the Brave Bird. If he's Scarf, I know he's Scarf, and I can deal with it accordingly. Stuff like that. So, go for the Brave Bird. He lives. He eats it up. He does show to be the Eviolite set with some defensive investment. And he just goes for the Flare Blitz. He will knock out my Rowlet, but he will also go down to Recoil. So in turn 1, we have 2 mons dead already. So, not really what you like to see, especially when Rowlet did a lot versus his team. Was also my potential defogger, but I'm just going right into Slowpoke because this could just allow me to give me the win right here. So I'm just going to get up a Calm Mind. Luckily he goes in the Sandshrew like I predicted that he'd just want to go for rocks right there. So I go for a Calm Mind here versus Chinchou. I was right. So I'm like, okay, no matter what he goes for right here, I can go for another Calm Mind, and the next one's going to be doing 20. So Thunderbolt would doing like max 45% right here. Even if he is like timid or something like that, he does get that higher roll. But with this second Calm Mind and +2, he's not doing more than, I believe it was 23% to hit my Slowpoke or something like that. Either way, it wasn't doing more than a quarter of health. But then he shows he has the Electric MC. I was so mad right here. I didn't even pull up in the calc if I lived it. I was just pretty upset. I clicked Slack off here, of course, still no matter what. So if I lived this, then I could still get off the sweep. But I felt like this was just going to kill me. Like, I didn't know how it did that much damage when +2 when the max is like, 23. It shouldn't have done over half. But it's whatever. So I was pretty upset right there because it was literally the best bring versus him. I didn't think of Z move on his Chinchou because I was expecting bulky pivot. So I got punished. I had good prep, but I got punished for not playing properly. And right here, it just goes kind of more downhill. I go for Earthquake, he goes into Censure. I'm like, okay, I think I just got a normal roll and a defensive Eviolite variant. Or I got, you know, like the min roll possible in a Berry Juice. If you remember last week where I showed the rolls with the numbers and stuff like that at the bottom, there was a 6% chance I got that roll. And I got that roll. So, I mean, this was still a bad play regardless. Because now he's all back up to full. He's going to get Stealth Rock for free here. My Archon is in defeat us. In no way whatsoever was that a good play. Yes, I would have 3 KO if I got a good roll like that again. And he was Eviolite. But at the same time, it was not worth it. Not worth it at all. So I'm just going into my Cubone here. Because I know he's going to put up rocks and it's just going to break my Sash. And then look at this. Nothing to Fungus. Thick Club would have 2-shot that. Would have been so helpful, but since I wanted to bring that counter set that didn't even exist, it was unfortunate. But I'm going to go into my Carbide here, my Skorupi on the Fungus, because my designated switching is good for the Spore. Our safety goggles do come into play right there. Right here, I'm going to go for the SD. I'm not going to have time to be able to go for the Agility. If I left the Sandshrew where it was at and I had Aqua Tail, I would have been able to go for the Agility, and honestly, Skorupi would have won. Because Fungus wouldn't have been able to done anything to me, and I would have been able to 2-shot that with Poison Jab, and then I literally 1-shot everything else on his team. So. But we go for Iron Tail here twice, and luckily we do take out the Sandshrew. But we knock out the Sandshrew, and then Abel is just going to be able to come in here, and it's going to be able to take care of us. As it does go for the Psychic. And see, if I was able to get off the duel, once again, we would have been in a lot better situation there. So, and actually, since he was Berry Juice and not Eviolite, I'm pretty sure Aqua Gills would have knocked him out at +2. So, things happen, man. It's all good. But I'm going to go for the Pursuit here because for some odd reason, he makes every good prep except for not bringing Focus at Shabra. I forget what he was. I think he was just a Life Orb substitute. I don't understand, like, Sash is for sure dealing with any variation upon Yurt, 1,000,000%. But, I'm just going to switch out here, sack my Archon on the Makuhita. It's my best play, just trying to get a Cubone in and cheese it. And what do you know, a Makuhita goes for the bulk up, so. If predictions are just that easy, then it's, like, I did very well in team matchup and building and everything. I just couldn't execute. I don't want to say I got screwed over in any way. Tone just had good prep and he made good plays. The Jenning with Cubone was pretty unfortunate. It didn't make a big play here. I would have went for it there. It would have knocked out Makuhita. But with this combination of a max healthy Chinchou and Fungus, basically, I wasn't winning. Because Pawniard couldn't lock itself into one move that was going to be able to knock out both of those guys. Because the Fungus did have hidden power fighting. So there was no way I was winning that game unless Iron had flinched down his entire team. And I didn't really want to do that necessarily. But also, you saw I got that Boomerang miss earlier. At least to make up for it. If I would have got the Boomerang hit, that Iron Head would have killed afterwards. Because he did have the Berry Juice. But, you know, it happens. So we got clapped this game, as you can see by the thumbnail. But it's fine. I was expecting a loss eventually, but I was hoping for another potential win before I take on like Joey and Gator. But we lost 3-0 right there. Pretty unfortunate. But I know we can pick it up. Next week we do take on Gator, which will be a definitely tough matchup. But if we can just pick up a few more wins before we grab into playoffs in these last few weeks, we'll be set fine, and then hopefully we can do pretty well in playoffs from now out. God, I don't feel good. I feel disgusting, and I have to go to work. Wish the best of me, boys. But that'll be it for me this week, guys. Thank you for watching. Sub, like, share, deuces.